Okay, just picture this for a second. It's a Tuesday morning, September 12th. You're a data analyst, you've got 7 years of experience under your belt, your reviews are stellar, and then an email pops into your inbox. The subject line is super simple: organizational update. But what's inside is about to change your entire life. That exact email is what happened to a real person named Rebecca Martinez. You see, she wasn't laid off, she was replaced. Her entire role, everything she had built her career on for years, was now being handled by an AI. Now, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is happening right now to thousands of people. So what is actually going on here? Let's break it all down. Rebecca's story, it's not a one-off. It is really just the tip of a massive iceberg. We're in the middle of a fundamental shift in the job market, and the scale of this thing, well, it's something we have to get our heads around, like today. And when you look at it, it really just comes down to some brutal math. Rebecca cost her company about $180,000 a year. Her AI replacement, just $600 a month. I mean, when the economics are that stark, that black and white, companies are making a choice, and that choice has huge consequences for all of us. And look, this isn't some distant threat looming on the horizon. Recent research from MIT basically just dropped a bombshell. AI can already, right now, replace nearly 12% of all jobs in the US. We are not talking about what's coming in 2030. We're talking about a capability that exists as we speak. And to put that into perspective, that 11.7%, it represents $1.2 trillion in wages. That's the value of work that is now, both technically and economically, on the chopping block for automation. So the big question is, what do we do about it? Well, amidst all the panic, there's actually a really powerful counter-narrative. Research from Stanford has identified that while some jobs are kind of just evaporating, others are essentially immune. It turns out there's specific human capabilities that AI just cannot replicate. Let's call them the 4 human shields. So here they are. First, you've got emotional intelligence. That's the ability to really understand and manage human emotions. Second is physical dexterity, having skill in unpredictable real-world places. Third, creative judgment, the capacity for truly original ideas and strategy. And finally, ethical reasoning, the ability to make complex moral judgments. These 4 shields, right here, are the foundation of an AI-proof career. And let's be absolutely crystal clear about this. For decades, we've kind of dismissed these as soft skills. But that way of thinking is now dangerously outdated. In the age of AI, these are no longer optional. They are your career armor. They are the absolute core of your value. So, let's dive into the first category of these immune careers. These are roles that are pretty much defined by human connection, by empathy, and the ability to make critical decisions when the pressure is on. This is where that first shield, emotional intelligence, is literally everything. And the demand is just exploding. I mean, look at this. The projected growth for nurse practitioners is nearly 46%. Now compare that to the average job growth of just 3%. Why? Well, because an AI can read a blood pressure number, sure, but it can't see the fear in a patient's eyes or understand the messy context of their actual life. Take Maria Santos, for example. She used to be a medical coder, which is a job that was almost entirely automated. She saw the writing on the wall, went through an accelerated nursing program, and now she's a nurse practitioner. Her old job is basically gone. Her new job, it's one of the fastest growing and most secure professions in the entire country. Now that's a powerful pivot. And it is not just nursing. Look at the growth in mental health counseling and therapy. The value there is that human-to-human connection. Something AI chatbots have failed miserably to replicate. Paramedics and social workers, they operate in chaos and complexity that algorithms just can't handle. At the end of the day, you simply cannot automate empathy. All right, now let's pivot to the second big category. This is all about building the physical and conceptual worlds that AI simply can't touch. And this is where those other shields, physical dexterity and creative judgment, really come into play. It's pretty fascinating when you look at the data. Construction has the lowest automation risk of any major industry. So why is that? Well, because every single job site is unique. You've got different soil, different weather, constant unforeseen problems. AI learns from clean data, but these jobs operate in a messy world of physical variables, not neat little data sets. James Cooper's story is a perfect example of this. He was a bank telling, a role that's just been decimated by automation. So he retrained as an electrician. And now, get this, he's installing the very infrastructure, like ATMs, that made his old job obsolete. He has skills that just can't be downloaded. And this same kind of immunity pops up in other fields too. Cybersecurity analysts have to think like human hackers, not just spot known patterns. Creative directors provide that strategic vision AI can't even begin to grasp. And in the ultimate irony, we need AI ethics specialists, actual humans, to govern the very technology threatening other jobs, applying that crucial shield of ethical reasoning. And that, right there, brings us to the core question that an AI can never, ever answer. It's a question that requires human values and foresight and moral reasoning. Honestly, it's the question that's going to define the next decade of work. So here's the human bottom line in all this. This isn't just about a few jobs disappearing. It's about what you might call a great bifurcation. The entire labor market is splitting into two very distinct diverging paths, and the choice of which path you want to be on is becoming really, really urgent. You can really see it here. On one side, you have routine, pattern-based cognitive work. Think data processing. This stuff is being automated and commoditized at an incredible speed. But on the other side, you have distinctly human work. This is the stuff that requires judgment, empathy, creativity. And this work isn't just immune to AI, it's actually becoming more valuable because of it. So the choice is becoming clearer by the day. Those entry-level white-collar jobs are vanishing. But the jobs built on those 4 human shields we talked about, they're booming. And hey, remember Rebecca from the very beginning? After her position was eliminated, she didn't just go and update a resume. She analyzed the trends and enrolled in a nurse practitioner program. She chose a side. Look, this isn't about fearing AI. It's about fundamentally reevaluating what human value really means in the workplace. It's about recognizing what makes us irreplaceable, and then strategically building our careers around those core human shields. The data is in, the trend is clear, and the paths are splitting right before our eyes. The question is no longer if you'll be affected, but how you're going to respond. It's your move.